Well, looks like the Hatelins, the slows, the retards, and in this case, members of the media, the WNBA media, looks like they're taking big fat L's today. Particularly one Sheryl Swoopes. That's right.
Sheryl Swoopes, the WNBA legend, has recently been removed from the cover art of the Queens of Court podcast amid her ongoing criticism of Caitlin Clark. On April 8th, Swoopes was prominently featured, but by April 18th, she was completely absent, indicating a significant shift. The podcast even rebranded itself, changing its name from Jordan Robinson and Sheryl Swoopes to Jordan Robinson and Friends. This move highlights the fallout from Swoopes' comments and raises questions about her future in the podcasting space.
And we all know this was a Caitlin Clark hate fest last year, right? I mean, seriously.
The situation escalated further when Sydney Brunson, another vocal critic of Caitlin Clark, was removed from the Phoenix Mercury broadcast team. This action suggests that the WNBA is clearly signaling a warning to anyone considering negative remarks about their rising star. Criticize Clark at your own peril. Interestingly, sources indicate that this decision didn't originate with WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. It may have come from even higher authorities, possibly linked directly to NBA Chairman Adam Silver. This development highlights the league's protective stance toward its new superstar.
It looks like they booted Swoopes from the Queens of Court podcast. Now, just Jordan has a podcast and she has guests on. The WNBA listened to the new fans, looked at the facts, and acted accordingly.
Did you see the bizarre turn of events surrounding the Queens of Court podcast? It's like witnessing someone being erased from history in real time. One moment, Sheryl Swoopes was the co-star, with her image prominently displayed on the artwork and her name featured in the title. The next moment, she vanished entirely from the show's identity, as if someone had pressed a digital delete button. The podcast had gained notoriety as a hub for criticism of Caitlin Clark, often branded a hate fest by many, with Swoopes at the forefront of the critiques against the WNBA's rising star. Listeners eagerly tuned in each week for fresh rounds of criticism about Clark, but then, suddenly, that was no longer an option. The abrupt transformation was astonishing, occurring virtually overnight. Swoopes didn't announce any intention to step away or take a break. Instead, her presence was entirely scrubbed, reminiscent of a celebrity being airbrushed from a historical photograph. It's akin to having one's star status stripped from a theater marquee, leaving fans bewildered by the sudden and stark removal.
And there they are. That's the old cover for the podcast. And this is the new one. Not to be confused with Spider-Man and his amazing friends. This is the Women's Hoop Show with Jordan Robinson and friends. Now, who the and friends is, I don't know.
The before and after comparison starkly highlights the dramatic nature of this change. Initially, the cover art prominently featured Sheryl Swoopes as the show's star, but now her image has completely disappeared, replaced by new artwork that disregards her contributions. Similarly, the podcast title has shifted from the clear Jordan Robinson and Sheryl Swoopes to the vague Jordan Robinson and Friends. It's reminiscent of someone scrubbing a former partner from their social media, like a digital new phone, who dis moment. This rebranding may have flown under the radar if not for Ken Swift, a well-connected WNBA insider with access to the podcast's marketing materials. Swift made the notable change public by sharing before and after images on Twitter, providing compelling side-by-side proof that left no doubt about Swoopes' removal. His credibility within WNBA circles added significant weight to the revelation, making the situation all the more impactful.
But I went and looked. I brought up Odyssey, and sure enough, back on April 15th, Sheryl Swoopes was around. And then she was around for the April 8th. But April 18th looks like it is devoid of one Sheryl Swoopes.
The timing of this change raises significant suspicion. Ken Swift's evidence revealed that on April 8th, Sheryl Swoopes was still prominently featured in all podcast branding. Just 10 days later, by April 18th, she had vanished altogether. This isn't a gradual transition, it's a calculated erasure. This move was not just a routine scheduling adjustment. The podcast underwent a complete identity transformation at a crucial moment when the WNBA was closely monitoring the surge of new fans attracted by Caitlin Clark, analyzing viewership data and merchandise sales. It seems they concluded that having one of their legends publicly criticizing their newest star wasn't in their best interest, prompting this drastic shift.
The WNBA season shattered viewership records driven largely by the rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. Yet, as the dust settled on another banner year for women's basketball, some familiar voices on the sidelines quietly fell out of favor.
The evidence indicates that the WNBA took action by prioritizing new fans and commercial interests, responding decisively to the situation. The podcast content was seen as potentially detrimental to the league's objectives, particularly in light of Caitlin Clark's rising popularity and the WNBA's obvious intent to capitalize on her appeal. However, this narrative is far from finished, as Sheryl Swoopes' journey continues, especially in light of her recent firing.
On Monday, the Phoenix Mercury revealed a revamped 2025 local broadcast lineup without any mention of Cindy Brunson.
The Phoenix Mercury has just announced a significant update to their 2025 local broadcast lineup, and notable by her absence is Cindy Brunson. This isn't merely a random staffing change. Brunson was part of something historic last year as a member of the Mercury's first ever all-female broadcast booth. Now, she's been removed from the lineup, seemingly out of nowhere.
Cindy Brunson with ESPN. And it wasn't until I started covering this league that I found out, man, she woke as hell.
Brunson didn't leave quietly. She took to social media to express her feelings following her removal. She shared a revealing Bob Marley quote, "True friends are like stars. You can only recognize them when it's dark around you." The message is unmistakable. During challenging times, she realized who her real supporters were. Meanwhile, fans responded with comments such as, "Another Clark critic gets what she deserves."
Brunson, who formed the Mercury's first all-female booth in 2023, responded on social media with a Bob Marley quote, "True friends are like stars. You can only recognize them when it's dark around you." Uh-oh, ruh-roh, Shaggy.
This removal seems to follow a troubling pattern. Both Brunson and Swoopes share a notable trait: they have openly criticized Caitlin Clark. It appears that the WNBA is systematically eliminating broadcasters who don't wholeheartedly support their new superstar.
That sounds like you got the get the hell out situation. So there is the team, the broadcast team, and there is her post. Cry us a river.
What's particularly striking is the online reaction. Rather than questioning these removals, many fans are celebrating them. Comments on social media indicate that those who criticize Clark are receiving their just desserts. There's an emerging belief that the WNBA is elevating its professionalism by eliminating voices viewed as biased against Clark. Swoopes didn't just lose her podcast role, she was also reportedly removed from the Dallas Wings broadcast team. Now Brunson from the Mercury joins her in losing a position. Two prominent broadcasters, both sharing similar views on Clark, have found themselves unexpectedly out of work. This correlation seems far from coincidental.
Ops are dropping. First Sheryl Swoopes, now Cindy Brunson. Who else of the Hatelins got the axe this season?
The purge appears to be escalating, with discussions of a WNBA task force aimed at combating negativity. Social media is abuzz with speculation about who could be next, with many pointing fingers at Elle Duncan from ESPN as potentially in the line of fire. The message is unmistakable: criticizing Clark comes with professional risks. What we're witnessing seems like a coordinated initiative among various teams and media organizations. This situation transcends mere performance issues or contract disagreements. It represents a significant overhaul of the WNBA media landscape, aimed at removing voices that challenge the narrative around the league's shining new star. There appears to be an unspoken directive encouraging teams to purge anyone who does not align with the Clark-centric storyline.
Maybe broadcasters realize the Caitlin Clark fan club has the biggest fan base. Just hope the replacements are more unbiased.
The timing is significant as Caitlin Clark rises to prominence, and the league capitalizes on her star power to boost women's basketball. A series of media shifts appears to be designed to create a curated, positive narrative surrounding their new standout. Fans are dubbing it the Great WNBA Media Purge, as veteran broadcasters with extensive experience are suddenly ousted for sharing opinions that conflict with the league's envisioned future.
As in, Adam Silver probably called Kathy Engelbert and said, you know what we're going to do here? We're not going to have all this hating on the player I did a video on earlier, the women's player, the female player that is second in NBA jersey sales.
While attention is fixated on these broadcasters being dismissed, the most pressing question remains: who is signing these termination notices? It's not WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert who is orchestrating this. Evidence suggests that NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is behind this cleanup operation. With 27 years of WNBA financial struggles shaping his perspective, Silver's influence is driving this entire initiative from behind the scenes.
No, Adam Silver has been very quick to market Caitlin Clark. All right, we all saw the video. It's got over 10 million views of her hugging the kid and giving the kid, showing the kid on television, all that. That went mega viral. It was the NBA's Twitter feed.
Consider this. Adam Silver recognizes that Caitlin Clark is reshaping the economic landscape of women's basketball before our eyes. Looking at the statistics, he sees what the league has been desperate for over the past 3 decades: a true superstar capable of making the WNBA profitable. This isn't just about the game, it's about business survival. The financial implications are remarkable. Clark's jersey sales last season ranked second across the entire NBA, surpassing nearly every male player. This isn't just a women's basketball phenomenon, it's a significant development within the entire NBA ecosystem. The revenue discussions happening in those boardrooms must have been eye-opening. Clark symbolizes an economic revolution for a league that has faced financial challenges.
This player, the female player that is second in NBA jersey sales. That means in case you're wondering, there's 8 NBA players behind her in the top 10. By the way, 2 of those names are Jordan and LeBron. So tell me again, the needle?
The impact on viewership underscores the urgency of this situation. Games featuring Caitlin Clark draw in 3.5 times more viewers than typical WNBA matchups. This dramatic spike in the league's media value translates directly into millions in potential revenue for broadcast rights and advertising deals. One online commentator aptly noted, "Many broadcasters realize that Caitlin Clark has the biggest staff club," highlighting the unprecedented institutional backing she receives from top BA. Basketball leadership. Another commenter humorously referenced the Rachel case, implying that these are not just random firings but part of a coordinated strategy to capitalize on Clark's rising star.
Sounds like the league's getting more professional, getting rid of the clowns.
Silver's strategy resembles a coach's secret game plan, meticulously clearing obstacles while safeguarding his star player. Do you think the NBA, which ultimately controls the WNBA's future, would allow broadcasters to undermine their golden goose? Not a chance. High-level meetings likely made it clear that anyone consistently disparaging Clark would face consequences. The careers suddenly derailed serve as cautionary tales for others who might think about criticizing the league's most valuable asset. Adding to the credibility of this theory is the timing of these media removals. They perfectly aligned with Clark's rookie season, when maximum positive coverage was crucial. The league needed the narrative surrounding Clark to dominate headlines without interference from established critics questioning her impact.
Maybe they didn't know it was coming against them. Now that would be funny. This is good news. Very interesting.
This news is quite intriguing. These personnel changes across various organizations aren't mere coincidences. They seem to be strategic moves orchestrated from the highest levels. The pattern is too consistent, the timing too impeccable, and the financial incentives too evident. After 27 years of financial challenges, Caitlin Clark embodies the WNBA's greatest opportunity for achieving consistent profitability at last.
The only hope that this league has for turning a profit. What is it, 27 years now? This will be the 27th year. Who knows if they turn one this year of turning a profit. And with the new media rights deal, yeah, they should finally turn a profit.
This situation reveals more than just a few individuals losing their jobs. After 27 years of not turning a profit, the league is now placing all its financial hopes on Caitlin Clark. League executives have clearly outlined their strategy, pinpointing Clark as their golden ticket and systematically eliminating anyone who poses a threat to that narrative. This calculated risk has sent shockwaves through the sports community. Beyond the immediate casualties, one must wonder whether this aggressive media purge is the league's final bid for profitability or the onset of even more significant upheavals. As the unfolding drama continues, the future of the WNBA hangs precariously in the balance. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.